guys, and welcome to another WIP Wednesday. I'm Adrian, and Kiwi is my parrot. If you're new to my channel, the way I usually do this is I will show you guys some finished projects that I completed over the last week, and then we'll talk a little bit about things that I'd like to get finished up over the course of the next 7 days. However, this week, once again, I don't have any finished projects to show you, so we're just going to jump into showing you guys some of what I worked on this week. If you guys happen to catch my live stream, I think it was Monday, I did show this piece. I did talk a little bit about things that I've been working on. If you guys want to catch the replay to that, I'll put it up here. Or does it? I can never remember if it goes up there or if it goes up there. I'll put a card up on one of the sides. Anyways, so I did talk a little bit about both of the things that I've been working on Monday. But I'm a little bit closer to being finished on this piece. This is another Lotus Mandala duster that someone ordered from the Etsy shop. This colorway is called Echo Caves, and so this is what the back looks like. And I still have to do the sleeves. I'm actually on the last round of the body, and then I'll be able to start the sleeves. So if you were to look at it from the back, it would actually look like that. And you'd have this kind of neck ruffly thing going on. But I think it's turning out really pretty. The colors are coming out really nice. This, I don't know if I already said this, this colorway is called Echo Caves. It is a Lion Brand Mandala baby cake. So here's the rest of what that cake looks like. This is dark blue, and it's going to fade out to a lighter blue and then white, and then it'll go back to the greens. I only have one cake left. Whenever I make these, I just let the colors play out the way they want to. I don't color control them. So the sleeves always end up differently. Here's what a full cake looks like. So the sleeves always end up looking differently. There's always a little bit of uniqueness to each one, just because of how the colors play out. I'll link this pattern. It is a free pattern by Moral Fiber. I'll link it in the description box below. And for big projects, that's really all I've been working on. That one right here, I need to finish that one. That's probably the next one that I'm going to be trying to finish up as far as garments go, because that was actually for a birthday present their birthday is long past now, and I need to finish that up and get it to her. So the other things that I've been working on, if you guys seen my tutorial for the spider stitch hoodie, I'll link that at the end of the video if anybody's interested in checking that out. It is a really long tutorial, but I tried to be as in-depth as I could, but I still feel like it was a little basic. I don't know how I feel about that tutorial, but it gives you enough information to make that hoodie. Anyways, so I used a Caron cinnamon swirl cake in the colorway Heat Wave, is what I used for that tutorial. And I had, of course, a little bit left over from the second cake. So I wanted to see how many pumpkins I could make up with that. And so, the orange, and I sell these at Scream Hollow, so I wanted to see how many I could make up. with the scrap yarn from the second cake, what was left over from that hoodie, I was able to get 3 of these little pumpkin bodies. Now, since then, I actually decided that I was going to take the third cake that I had left over, which was a full cake. I had initially purchased 3 cakes to make that hoodie, so I decided to take that third cake and make pumpkins as well, because after I made these 3, they're so cute. Look how cute they are. They're so cute. After I made these 3, I got curious, how many pumpkins could I make with one cinnamon swirl cake? So I made those 3 with the scrap yarn, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. I have about 3.5 made. So one of these, you can tell because there was like a little piece of fuzz that stuck out of his little face, and I couldn't get it to go back in. Anyways, one of these 2 is about half of the scrap yarn and then half the start of that brand new cake. So I got 1.5 from that first cake, or from the whole cake, and then I made up these 2 as well, and I just thought that was cute. They're each missing an eye on opposite sides. I did this last year as well, where some of them were missing eyes. So all told right now, I have 7 pumpkins, 3.5 of which came out of this cinnamon swirl cake. There's still quite a bit left, so I think it's going to be fun to try to see how many pumpkins I can get out of just one of those cakes. And I'm actually keeping these 3 separate, that way I don't, get them mixed up and then I have the total off or whatever. These 3 I'm keeping in with my bag of bat body parts, which all of the bats in this bag, they all have their parts. I just have to sew them together. At some point, I will have to sit down and do nothing but stems for the pumpkins, which that won't take long, and it won't take long to join them on either. But I am very interested in seeing how many pumpkins I can get out of that one cake. I have already run out of safety eyes in one size, and so I'm having to dig around to see if I've got any of that size left. I might have to, if I can find some more. I was using, I don't know what size they are. I wanted to use these, but they were too small. I felt like they were too small. So I went up to one that was closer to this size. You can see there's quite a bit of a size difference there. I might have to start making more one-eyed pumpkins to save on safety eyes. The other option is, I guess I could go up to the next largest size that I have in this little tray. I don't know, that seems like a big jump though. I don't know, I'll figure something out though. And I think I have another one of these trays. You get these off of Amazon. If anybody needs some, I will link these in the description box below as well. But I think they're only like $5.99, $6.99, and they come with the little backings and whatnot. Anybody who does amigurumi is probably very familiar with these little safety eyes. They're just plain black ones. So, yeah. That's what I've been working on. And probably I'm going to continue to work on the pumpkins until that cake is gone. But I'm not, I want to finish up this cardigan first, since that is actually an order through Etsy. I need to finish it up and get it shipped out. But then I will start working. I'll pick up where I left off with the pumpkins. So the other day I made a video asking you guys what your thoughts on possibly doing a series showing you guys how to make a square out of this book each week. And I didn't really get too many responses other than that it was a really cool book. However, someone did point out that I may have to deal with copyright issues if I try to do a tutorial on these squares. Now, I did look in the book, and under the copyright, it does say that if I have, what does it say specifically? I will read it to you guys. The book is sold subject to the condition that all designs are copyright and are not for commercial or educational reproduction without the permission of the designer and copyright owner. So that being said, I'm wondering if I might be able to possibly email the authors of this book, or maybe the publisher, to see if I can get written permission to do a tutorial on these each week. It does not have an actual single author listed, but of course it does have the publisher, and I'm not going to hold out too much hope that the publisher would actually respond to me. But maybe if I could get that sort of permission, then maybe I could do that, because that was a good point that I had not even thought about doing, or it never even occurred to me. Now, on the back, it does say that there is actually 23 designers for this book. So I don't know. I couldn't email all 23 of them, but they're like I said, they're not even listed in the book anywhere that I can tell. But I'm thinking maybe I can contact the publisher and see, whether or not I might be able to get that kind of written permission, because I would love to do a granny square a week and do like a tutorial. I know a lot of people can't read graphs, although I believe this book does come with written instructions as well, so it's not just the graph. But I was really excited about doing that, and so it kind of put a damper on that idea. I have never tried designing my own granny squares before, so I mean, that could be doable, maybe, I don't know, because I don't know how great I would be at designing my own granny squares, to be honest. But, I mean, that's, like I said, that's a possibility. I'm not gonna, this doesn't make me like this book any less, though. There's so much you could do with granny squares, and this is a wide variety of granny squares, so I am still looking forward to working with this book. Maybe, if nothing else, I can work up the granny square and show you guys, and maybe talk about it, whether or not it was difficult, that kind of thing. I don't know. I'll come up with something. But at least for, I'm gonna try to maybe email the publisher and see if I can maybe do a tutorial on these granny squares. But anyways, guys, I mean, I really don't have too much going on. You know, as soon as I get this cardigan finished, I'm gonna go back to making pumpkins and bats for a little while. Now I do have two cardigans that I have been thinking about working on or starting, but every time I do, I think I have one right there, I've got one right there, and I really need to finish up some cardigans and sweaters and things like that I've already got started before I just leap into making some new ones. But I have, it's dawned on me with what I should do with some of my yarns that I have on this wall, and you know, it's exciting to start a new project, and I kind of want to start it, but at the same time, I'm kind of going, you need to get some stuff finished first. I cleared my coffee table off over here, and it's piled up again with stuff for projects, and yeah. I think everybody kind of knows how that goes. You know, that, that doesn't even include, I have a huge basket over there, on the other side of the room that y'all can't see, and I still need to go through that and decide what I'm going to frog and what I'm going to keep. It's all amigurumi. Maybe I'll make a video and, I'll make a frog it or not video, and you guys can let me know whether or not I should frog that one, or, you know, finish that one. I don't know. I need to go through that basket, though. I really do. Anyways, guys, I am going to let you go for now. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me every Wednesday. It's really cool. Y'all listen to me carry on about stuff that probably y'all don't even care about. But, anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. I'm not sure which one that will be, but I do have a stitch tutorial coming up this Friday. I've been trying to keep ahead on those. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!